Hello everyone and welcome back to another theatre vlog. I'm actually starting the vlog in the interval and I didn't want to lie and pretend that I'm like not starting this at the start of the evening. Basically it was like a massive rush for me to get to the theatre. It wasn't a massive rush, but like Jake and I were filming some videos beforehand and then like time escaped us and then I was like rushing here and I just didn't have the chance to film this bit before the show. So let's just rewind and go back to the start of my trip. I'll show you that and then catch up with you here in a moment. Obviously it's now the interval of Beautiful on Broadway. I wouldn't normally see a show like this, one that I've recently seen in London, but because basically everything else that I wanted to see closed recently and Kara Lindsay is in this, I thought, screw it, I'm gonna get a ticket. I bought my ticket on TodayTix because I wanted to, wow, I've gone really bright, sorry. I wanted to try the app in New York because if you watch my videos you'll know that I love using TodayTix in London, so I wanted to see what the experience was like. Obviously the prices differ massively. This wasn't really a discounted show on TodayTix and then there's a booking fee as well, so I prefer using it in London, let's put it that way. And then yeah, so in New York you don't get your seat allocation straight away, you find out when you pick the tickets up from the theatre. So obviously I came here about 25 minutes before the show and got my ticket and yeah, so I'm in the mezzanine, which is fine. I've been in the mezzanine this whole trip so far and I'm pretty sure I have mezzanine seats for Come From Away as well. Ooh, spoiler, that's the next show I'm seeing. So yeah, it's a fine seat. It's comfortable, but the armrests on the side, they're not so comfortable. They're kind of like digging into me at some points, so that's the only complaint I have. This is a very new theatre. Jake and I were talking about it before I came here, obviously. It's the Stephen Sondheim Theatre and it's definitely like the newest theatre I've been in and you can totally tell like it feels so new. Like everything about it just screams new, which is good and bad, I don't know. So yeah, I'm seeing Beautiful, really enjoying it. I have to say the girl playing Carole King, she's not as strong as Cassidy Jansen. Wow, just had a total brain block. Cassidy Jansen was in London, but Kara Lindsay as Cynthia Weil is fantastic. Obviously, Kara Lindsay is an amazing woman. So yeah, I'm really enjoying seeing the show again, though I am sad that obviously the shows that I originally wanted to see have closed, but it's fine. I'll get over it at some point. Anyway, I'm going to go back in now because, oh my god, 15-minute intervals. I do not have enough time to do this whole theatre vlogging thing in Broadway. But it's fine. Going to go in, enjoy Act 2, and I will see you later. dead kitten. It's for like a wind buffer.
Oh, of course. Oh, that's so smart.
You were fantastic.
Thank
tonight.
you.
It was such a joy to watch you. I recently saw the show again in London, so nice to see it on Broadway as well.
I know, they're totally different, aren't they? Each production is so different.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much.
I went to see you in Wicked a couple of years ago.
Oh my gosh, awesome, thank you.
So I'm obviously not in the theatre anymore, I'm in Times Square. I just obviously came out of Beautiful, went to the stage door because I wanted to properly meet Kara Lindsay, because the last time when I saw her in Wicked, I was so preoccupied with Rachel. Didn't properly meet Kara, so had to do that. She's so sweet, and her sister was at the stage door as well, and I swear to God, they are twins. Like, they look exactly the same. I actually thought for a moment, I was like, is that Kara? Why is she waiting at the stage door? And I was like, no, that's got to be a relative or someone who just is an absolute doppelganger, because it was insane. Kara was so lovely. Like, wow, so lovely. And yeah, I'm in Times Square now, as I've probably already said. I'm gonna grab a bite to eat, because as I mentioned earlier on, it was such a rush to get to the theatre earlier. I didn't eat, so I'm gonna do that. I kept on hearing like cheering a minute ago, and I thought it might actually be from a stage door, so I went to like go and investigate, and it's just it looks like some street performers, so no need to investigate there. So I'm gonna go grab some food and then head back to the hotel, and then the next time you see me in this vlog will probably be when I am at home telling you all about the show. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the chatty section of this vlog. As you saw, I went to see Beautiful, the musical, the Carole King musical, on Broadway at the Stephen Sondheim Theatre. This was my third show of my recent New York trip, and if you want to see what else I got up to, then you just need to click on over to all of my videos and you'll see them there. They'll also be linked in the description box if you want to check them out. I highly recommend that you do. Beautiful, the musical, it has been in London and it's currently embarking on a UK tour. However, the main shows that I wanted to see on this Broadway trip were unfortunately closed before I got there. So I didn't want to just not see another Broadway show because I'm a theatre junkie. So I thought, right, I'm gonna find something else to see. I was debating between a few shows. Then I saw that Kara Lindsay had been cast in Beautiful, so that cemented that choice, and so Beautiful was my third show. One thing that I wanted to do on this trip in New York was to use TodayTix, because I use TodayTix a lot over here in London. I love using the app, and I feel like I'm constantly talking about it to the point that my friends take the mick out of me and people make jokes about it, but I genuinely do love it. It's not like they pay me to say stuff like this. I wish they did, that would be lush. But yeah, it's genuine and honest. And my friend Jake, who lives out in New York, we have clashing opinions on TodayTix because the service is very different from London to New York, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to use it to see what the experience was like of using the service in New York. I can't remember right now off the top of my head how much I paid for the Beautiful ticket, so I'll put all the figures and stuff on screen, but I just wanted to chat to you for just a little while about my experience of using TodayTix in New York. For those of you who don't know, TodayTix is a ticket app, so you can download it onto your phone and use my referral code for £10/$ off. How to do it, sorry. It's in multiple locations now, so the big ones obviously London, New York, it's in Chicago, it's in Washington DC, I think it's in Seattle, it's definitely recently in Toronto. I'll put a list up. There's a lot of cities that it's in, so that's great if you want to experience theatre in your city and the app is there. It could be a very good way for you to get tickets for shows. For me, it's great here in London because they often have discounted tickets, and they also have a lot of the online lotteries. They're normally in the app, which is great. And they also have rush tickets, which are cheaper tickets that you can unlock on the day. So for me in London, it's amazing. Such a good app. In New York, it is a bit different. So for New York, a lot of the shows that have lotteries, they have their own systems within the show. It's either still in person or it's directly through their websites, for example. So TodayTix, I don't believe it has nearly as many lotteries as it does here in London. I think there's just 1 or 2. There are a few other cool schemes that they have in New York. For example, I think it's with the Public Theatre. They do the first preview performance. I think it's a lottery, you can get free tickets for it, so that is awesome. But apart from that, it's definitely not as many lotteries or rush tickets. No, there are rush tickets available on the New York app, I just don't think there's as many of them, but obviously then that is up to the show's producers and the people in charge of that. You know, that's not up to TodayTix, that's up to the people that are in charge of the shows. So, with that aside, the other thing that's very different with New York TodayTix or America TodayTix in general is the fees. I've not actually looked at what the fees are like for the other American / Canadian locations for TodayTix, but in New York, I think the fees were like $12 something. It was over $10, which to me is crazy. I can't remember exactly what the conversion is of dollars to pounds right now, but that's definitely more than I'm used to paying here in London. TodayTix in the UK, it does have generally a fee. I think it's like £3. If I'm saying anything wrong, I'll obviously put it on screen so I'm not spreading fake news or whatever. Yeah, so there is a small booking fee, but it's nowhere near as much as the US TodayTix is. So that is a bummer. I don't really understand why the theatres over there have to charge such ridiculous booking fees. If anyone knows and would like to say in the comments, I'd love to know, because it's crazy. Even booking through any place, it's generally a massive booking fee. So anyway, it was fine. I booked on TodayTix and they had an option of the best available in either the orchestra or mezzanine, so either the stalls or dress circle. A part of me was really hoping that I would end up in the orchestra, because on this trip, all the shows that I saw, it was only from the mezzanines. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll be in the orchestra. But it was a Saturday evening performance that I booked for. So I thought to myself, I'm probably gonna get the mezzanine and I'm sure it'll be fine. Because another thing that I've noticed about Broadway theatres is that they're all quite smaller than the West End theatres. Quite smaller, that didn't make sense. But you know, they are smaller than the theatres I'm used to. So being in the mezzanine was not actually a huge deal. It was fine. This theatre, I have to say, the Stephen Sondheim Theatre, was not my favourite. In fact, it's possibly one of my least favourite theatres that I've been in. It's very new in comparison with the other theatres, and it felt so new. And it just really lacked kind of personality and charm for me, and that's potentially the vibe they were going for. But to me, I was just like, oh, it didn't look finished in a way. There was just, I don't know, it just wasn't my style. I didn't really enjoy it. And the seats themselves, while the view was fine, they had like these horrible little wooden armrests. So like you'd sit down in your seat and if you caught yourself on the armrest, it was actually quite painful. So that's obviously not TodayTix's fault. I'm not blaming you, TodayTix. You did not make this theatre. Another massive difference between TodayTix in the UK and in the US is the way in which you get your tickets. Here in London, I am used to booking my tickets on the app and then getting obviously an email confirmation, and I can go to the theatre and just pick them up directly from the box office. So the tickets are sent straight through. Whereas in the US, I can't properly explain it because I'm not like fully experienced with it, but basically there's a TodayTix representative that will be outside the theatre and they will have your tickets. Don't ask me why it's that way. I do not know the answer, but yeah, it's a totally different experience in collecting your tickets. So obviously I went up to the lady outside the theatre and they obviously wear a really bright t-shirt that says TodayTix, so you know exactly who they are. You say your name and then they have the tickets in an envelope for you, and then off you go into the show. In a sense, it's not too different from using any other service and picking them up at the box office. It's just potentially a bit different and weird for people that aren't used to a service like this. I don't know. The lady that I ended up picking up my tickets from, she was really nice. We had a little chat. I think I was talking about that I was from London and stuff, that I'd seen the show in London or whatever, because it's not been too long since I've last seen Beautiful. I saw it in July. So it's only been a couple of months since I last saw it, and funnily enough in that vlog I was like, oh, I didn't see Beautiful enough in London, I only saw it twice. So I'm like, well, made up for it, saw it on Broadway. Anyway, I think I've said everything I wanted to say about the whole TodayTix thing. I still love it, it's a great service, but it probably won't be my main means of getting theatre tickets in New York, just because I know that there are definitely cheaper ways for me to get those tickets, whereas here in London I sing their praises pretty much in every single theatre vlog because they are fantastic. So use my referral code, get £10/$dollars off. Queen Razusi, she's still at it. Anyway, let's move on to the show. As I just mentioned, I saw Beautiful in London in July, so it's really not been long since I last saw it. And the Broadway production, they are pretty much the same. So there's not really much more I can talk about in terms of the actual quality of the show, because obviously it's a Broadway musical. It was great, the whole production quality and everything. It was very similar to London. It was pretty much the same. I think there might have been one small difference, but I couldn't remember if I was just forgetting that. It was some staging, not even staging, it was a set piece that was like another level, and I was like, did they have that in London? So I don't want to talk about that in case I'm just being forgetful. In the role of Carole King, I got to see Chelina? Not sure on how to say her first name, and I feel bad for getting it wrong. Chelina? We'll go with that. Chelina Kennedy, and she was great. I have to say, Cassidy Jansen, I did prefer her portrayal of Carole King, but Chelina, she was great. She was very good. But I feel like we were a bit spoiled with Cassidy Jansen. Yeah, a little bit spoiled. But I mean, she played the role really well. And what I really enjoyed actually, because obviously Carole King was born in Brooklyn, there were some of the jokes that worked so much better with the American audience, especially the New York audience, than they did in London. There were quite a few spots where I wasn't used to hearing laughter there, and I was like, oh, that's different. This is nice. So that was lovely. I really liked seeing this show in sort of a more local audience. As I've already mentioned, I mainly went to see Kara Lindsay because Kara Lindsay is an angel. I last saw Kara in Wicked. Well, actually, I last saw Kara technically in Newsies, in the filmed version of Newsies, but we can't really count that because it wasn't technically me seeing her on stage, you know, it was on a screen. But she was fantastic in that. I bloody loved the way they did Newsies. There's actually a vlog of that on my channel if you want to go and check that out. But yeah, so the last thing I saw her in was Wicked. Back in 2015, I saw her on Broadway, obviously, when I went to see Rachel Tucker as Elphaba on Broadway, and I loved Kara's Glinda. She was fantastic, one of my favourite Glindas. And like, I'm just a bit of a fangirl. I say a bit. I'm very much a fangirl of hers. I just think she's got the most beautiful singing voice, and her acting, especially in like seeing her in quite different roles, like Cynthia Weil is obviously quite different to Glinda. So it was really nice to see her in this show. I just thought she was bloody brilliant, to be honest, and I can probably leave it at that. It was really nice to meet her as well, I'm not gonna lie. I was very excited about that. Obviously I kept it very internal. I'm a very professional fangirl when it comes to stage door. But it was so funny because her sister, Kara's sister, was at the stage door. Like, she was waiting there with her playbills, like, can you sign this for me, to like the other cast members. And they didn't really recognise, like, the spitting image. She looks exactly the same. They look like they could be twins. And so these performers were coming out, and I was just watching this, like, how are they not twigging? Like, that's one hell of a doppelganger if it's not family. Yeah, it was so funny to watch, and like them realising, they're like, wait, and she'd be like, yeah, I'm Kara's sister. I was like, obviously, come on. And then Kara came out, and obviously it was very sweet. And it wasn't a really busy stage door, which was quite nice because the other stage doors I'd been to were quite busy. So it was nice to actually be able to like have a little chat and be like, oh, I saw you in Wicked, like you're amazing. And yeah, get a really nice photo with her, because I'm really crap with getting photos at stage door nowadays. I think because I vlog as well, so there's too many things going on. I'm like vlogging and trying to get things signed, and then I'm just like, oh, and then I don't get a photo. So I'm really proud of myself, and I'm really glad that I did get that photo, because it's a nice little memento to have. I've realised I've been rambling on for ages, so I'm gonna shut up now. Let me know if you've been to see Beautiful on Broadway or in the UK, or the current UK tour or the national tour, or just have you seen Beautiful? I want to know. I want to know if you've enjoyed it, what you've thought of it, and if you've seen Kara Lindsay in her current Broadway role, or if you saw her in Wicked as well. Let's just fangirl in the comments, to be honest. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you would like to see more of me in the future. There's always lots of theatre content, and there's currently quite a bit of travel content as well, so a bit of a mix of stuff at the moment. I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you very soon. Bye!